Day in History is brought to you by these local sponsors.
And on this day in history, April 2nd, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. arrived in Memphis to support the city's striking sanitation workers. Dr. King came to town to plan the next steps in the movement, focused on economic justice and workers' rights. His visit came during a critical moment in the Memphis sanitation workers' strike, hundreds of workers demanding fair wages and safer working conditions. He delivered his powerful "I've Been to the Mountaintop" speech at Mason Temple the following day, April 3rd, and was assassinated on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel on April 4th.